Hey guys, welcome.
I'm out.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
We just got started, guys.
I'm kind of done.
So I've been here just sitting, waiting for like hours just for you guys to like fucking like
Gone.
Yeah, done.
Gone.
cool. I'm in. Let's go. Hi guys, welcome to the Heckin Podcast. Joining me today, I have Edson. I have Christian and Vanessa. How are you guys doing?
We made it.
I know you guys just got into town.
We just got into town.
Yeah, all the way from
like,
Kansas. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, we moved from Omaha.
Yeah,
last
yeah.
Time, so
How's Topeka?
it was good.
Yeah?
It's nice. That's nice out there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And you guys drove all the way? That's insane.
Yeah, we drove.
He drove. I napped.
Oh, that's fair. I love that.
She was
I
in the
love that
back.
for
She was
you.
in the back holding.
I love that for you. I love that you're
Me
refreshed.
too.
She was in the back with the skateboard with the string.
Just skiing on the highway.
Yeah.
Extreme sports. I like it.
Like us on the quad.
Oh my gosh, those were the days. But we were safe that we wore helmets, so we were.
Yeah, like that was gonna help. Compared to the shit we did, like that was
the
gonna
time we
help.
had him unstrapped.
Yeah, the helmet was so loose, like it would probably fly off if anything actually happened.
Yeah,
But we had a helmet, and that's what matters.
yeah, for sure.
Well, welcome, guys. Good to have you guys on.
Thanks for having us.
It's been a few tries.
Yeah, because we live so far, it's hard
That is true.
it's hard to coordinate.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
all adults now, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, life happens.
Life happens.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
What have you guys been up to?
Oof. Right now, I am currently doing grad school, Penn State. So
Alright.
all my time is taken up with a lot of schoolwork, and this class is kicking my ass for sure. So yeah, I've been working. Just God, I'm such an adult. God, I hate it.
Yeah, it's like when you talk to people younger than you, and they're like, "Oh, we're over here doing this," and you're like, "Well, I went to Target today."
on our drive,
Exerted all my energy.
on our drive,
That was a lot.
On our drive here, my sister called. Hello, my sister called, and she was telling us like, yeah, like I'm just getting ready to go to a party, no big deal. I'm like, okay, what'd you do last night? I went to another party. I'm like, gosh, to be in our early 20s again, just to like have the energy to go
Right.
out 2 nights in a row, man. Yeah, those are the good times.
All right.
Shout out Bella.
Shout out to Bella.
Shout out. Beep, beep, beep. We were talking last time when Edson and I were recording about. I just wanted to wait. I didn't want to get too into it until you were here because you were a part of it. But in the 5 months that we were prepping for my niece's quince when we played, so that was a pretty big show for us.
Yeah.
Just because it was a long time since we had played that wasn't spontaneous. Because we had played other times in like recent years, but it was like we were all just happened to be together at a party and we're like, yeah, let's do it because you get hyped up. And like, yeah, let's go. But like this one we had known was coming, so we had planned it out. And I was telling him how like we were able to separate the practice from the like just jamming out kind of deal.
Yeah. There was an element I felt with like how back in the day it felt sometimes it felt forced where we had to play, like we had to practice. And this time around we were on our own terms, we were on our own schedule, we were on our own like accord. So we were able to just, have fun with it however we wanted to have fun with it. And at the same time, I think musically mature enough to know like we got this, or we practiced this enough to know like, yeah, we got it.
You got it down.
Yeah.
Like there's ones that for sure we're always going to be in our mind that we can like at least play like a good 3 to 4 songs.
Yeah.
But what I liked about it too, like kind of like piggybacking off what you said, was it was on our terms in that sense where when we played regularly, it was always like they would kind of pick our songs. Like we would it's like not that they wouldn't let us pick songs, we just kind of let them do it for us.
Yeah.
And they would pick songs, and a good majority of the time they were good, and other times they were not so good.
Yeah.
But
A lot of them were classics, though.
a lot of them were classics, and a lot of them were
Of
good.
their era.
Of their era.
It's like, you think Los Huaraches are classics?
I never was with that song. I'm still against that song. But I like how, like, when the show came, we actually surprised everybody because we played a song that we had never played before. No one had ever heard us play it. So, like, when people heard us, like, I had a couple people reach out to me the next day and be like, what song was that? Like, that was awesome.
Can I say that I think your rendition is so much better than the original? We've talked about this.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was a great production.
And we tried to make it as close to the original.
That
was the goal.
We even went as far, like, I even learned there's a whole chunk of like a whole guitar solo at the beginning of the song, and I like learned like legitimately learned the whole thing, and then like the day, or was it the day of or the day before, we were like, hey, we're actually like not gonna do that anymore because
it was too much transition in.
It was too much. So I was
not
like,
too much. It was too hard. Really.
We didn't have enough time to really like get down the intro. I think if we had more time together, that's what I'm saying.
It was literally
we
just
had
practicing,
we had the time. We just didn't have the time together. Like enough to be able to kind of get it and get it polished enough to be able to like add everything.
We were just talking about how many times we actually got together as a group, and it was.
I was gonna say,
twice.
like, fun fact for those listening and watching, if you were present at that performance, little fun fact, that was our first time the entire ensemble played together as one. We had practiced like months before and stuff, like, but with different groups of people. Not all of us were never there
really together
at the same time. So that was the first time. Like, that was the first time I ever played with Rafita. Like, that was the first time.
Actually, it was.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
So yeah.
I didn't think about that. I was so like stressed.
But yeah, right. I was too, dude. I know.
Okay, talking about that, I had fun, but I was like so focused on making sure everything.
You didn't even enjoy the party as much. Yes, dude. I was the same way. I was just like more anxious about it.
And
like,
then in passion, I was like, "Oh, dude!"
I kept trying to like build my excitement for it, but I was like, dude, it's like 4:00. Like, we still got like 5 hours. Like, I gotta like chill out for a bit.
How was it for you? Like, for someone that wasn't in the sweat of it, like.
Yeah, no, it was the first time I had ever seen you guys or heard you guys play live, and it was so good. It was so awesome.
I was like,
everyone was so excited.
That was like my first time because that's why I had asked Rafita about playing with us because he's a really good musician as well, and so he plays bass really good, and I'm like, he can like he can run circles around me on the bass, and I'm like, that's awesome, like that would sound so much better. So I wanted to see if he would join us for that performance so that I can be hands free and have more of a show to be more of a front man kind of deal. So that was a whole different experience for me too, because I had never done something like that. And
you gave a show.
I was flying around that fucking stage. I'll tell you what.
I think you barely had enough stage, dude. You barely had enough stage.
Dude, I barely had enough stage. And I was like, whatever. I was like, I just let loose. I was like, I'm just going to put on the show that I know my niece wants, so I'm going to do it. Yeah. And we all had the in-ears, and I was flying around. My shit kept flying off.
I remember.
And it unplugged and flew off at one point. So I went to go pick it up, and I just set it down because I was like, "This is not happening."
So the tricky thing with those is, you can hear like your playback, but it's hard to hear the remainder of the band sometimes.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, depending on, for me at least, the guitar pedal, like the effect that I had on it. Because sometimes I put on the effect and it would sound a little fuzzy, but I knew like it was coming out of the external speakers. And so for the last song, for Oyo Como Va, like when I had my guitar solos, I could hardly hear what I was playing, so I was just like,
kind of going blind.
I hope this is right.
Luckily, though, that's muscle memory kicking in.
But most of it was. But then I actually added like a new little part, like just a little flashy little lick that I added, and it wasn't until like I watched the playback on like some of the videos that you recorded or that like family recorded, and I'm like, okay, it didn't sound too bad.
Right. Okay. I was like, I was seeing the videos the next day, and I was like, what did I do?
If you can put something here, then that'd be great. But
you know what? I'll add it at the end because there's something else I want to add at the end, and I was gonna bring it up a little later, but since we're kind of like getting into that, I'll get into it. I have a surprise for you, Christian.
Uh-oh.
So it's nothing physical.
Damn.
That's almost worse.
It's my love. God. I'm kidding. That doesn't exist.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on here.
No, so back in like 2000 and let me get it right. 2012, 2011, maybe. You maybe had you had to have been in high school because you hadn't graduated yet.
Yeah, and I was still in high school.
So you might have been a senior.
I was a junior in 2012. Well, yeah.
It had, I don't know, it was somewhere around that
I
era.
started my senior year
Whatever.
2012.
You were at high school is the point.
Yeah.
And I was living at my sister's house. And one day you slept over and we came up with this whole story
I know where this is going.
about someone waking up from a bad dream and going into the restroom, looking into the mirror, and it's someone with a squirrel mask on, and it's like scares so like it wakes up. We had this whole sketch like planned out,
We did.
and we filmed all of it.
Yeah.
And I started to edit it, and something happened with my laptop or the hard drive that I kind of lost it. And when I tried to go back and recover it, I wasn't able to find it. And so it was just lost. But we always talk about it. We bring it up all the time. We've even talked about like doing it now, like whenever we've talked like recreating it, just because we just always thought it was a funny idea.
But it's nothing like having it that first time. There's just a magic about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I feel like even if we refilm it, it won't be the same because it's like it was one of like that. I mean, it's not like it was anything amazing, but it's like the lightning in a bottle kind of thing, you know? Like you got to go with that moment. Kind of like I'm going to bring up another. Oh, well, hold on. Before I get to that point, I want to finish the tangent because I tend to do that.
Next.
So next. Moving on. So the other day, I found a memory card in my nightstand.
Don't
raise your expectations.
Okay. I was like, hold on.
Let me bring them down there.
Okay.
Bring them down there, sir. Keep them mild.
Oh my gosh.
There's clips.
Wow.
I have clips
Oh my gosh.
of the video we titled Schirophobia.
Wow.
And it's literally me filming you opening the front door
That was my favorite part.
and
When
me
we're sneaking
launching
in.
something
Yeah.
at you.
Oh my gosh.
And me just like running past you to go outside. And, you know, it took me a little while to realize that my sister and my brother-in-law were in the next hallway over trying to sleep because they had work the next morning. And we were fucking loud.
Thank you to both of you for not like scolding us because we deserved it.
We were very loud. I was like, I'm sorry, sister.
Yeah, dude. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Wow, so you have
I found clips and I'm gonna play some for you guys. There's a lot of like similar ones, so I'll just play the highlights, but I'll play them at the end of the video.
Okay, cool.
So speaking of like the random ideas for like videos and stuff like that, it reminds me of, I don't know if we talked about it here before, but Mary had a little scream.
We brushed up on it, and the last time the four of us with Alex were here.
Right.
We talked about it, but we didn't go into detail.
We
Right.
talked about it.
But we talked about it.
Yeah.
That's another tangent that we'll go off of in a bit.
We'll get into that
We'll
one.
get
I
into
know
this
where
right
you
now.
guys
We'll
are
get into
heading,
this
and
right
we'll get back in. It's segueing.
Yeah.
We'll get there. I promise.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. Thursdays at 5.
You remember?
So it was going back to, you know, the videos and everything like that. I don't know how that happened. Because we had the randomest people with us that day.
Yeah.
Like we had such a random group of people with us at the ranch that day, and we were like, let's make a video.
Yeah.
And so we just started recording, and we made like this whole sketch on the fly of like someone driving. It's kind of like you pull up like Hillside Lights kind of thing. Like you pull up into like a weird town, pull up to a house.
It's a
your
horror,
car breaks down.
It's like a horror film type
spoof. And so,
spoof.
if you're, I'll put the link up to the YouTube video in the description, just in case.
Oh no!
Just in case anyone's curious, I'll
People
put it.
are gonna
What I'm
say
gonna
that
laugh is that they're gonna expect something scary because you said
No,
that.
not at all. It's awful.
What's scary is how
Lower your expectations.
What's scary is how we acted.
No, yeah, for sure. So pretty much it goes, someone shows up to the house and they go around and they find Christian as their host.
That was a different side of me, so just warning.
In
character.
In character.
So they lead the two leading ladies into the dungeon, I'm assuming.
If they want to know, watch the video because you're about to give it away.
That's true. That's as far as I'll go. I don't want to give spoilers
watch
away.
the video.
Go watch the video for the rest.
You'll be sorry.
Right, you'll be sorry. You'll hate it, but go watch it. You'll love it.
So there's a funny story about that video. So it involves us, me and you.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, we're dating. We're a couple, and
What?
wait, what? What?
Get out. We're done here.
And that's it.
And that's it. That's the end of the podcast. Yeah. So we started dating a while ago, and we met through Hinge. So we met through online dating, and this was like we were still talking virtually, so we hadn't met in person yet. And then we finally agreed, like, hey, let's go on a date. Let's go meet up somewhere and get together.
I don't think you realized, because see, I caught you. We were messaging on a night where you were drunk with your friends in Tahoe. And
mistake number one.
Apparently your friends claimed that you were like really, really drunk. And I know that you kept saying that you, of course, were very drunk, and I suggested maybe drink some water, so you didn't feel so crappy the next morning. And you were like, "Oh my gosh, I would show you pictures if I could." I was like, "There's Instagram,
Easy there.
there's like
What kind of pictures?
Photos exist.
Insta," and so and you fell for it. You gave me your Instagram handle, and then I was like, "We're in, boys," because as soon as he added me, I was like, "All right, we're going in," and I looked at everything. I mean, I found like your mom's Facebook, and I really dug, and you were of course
The
tagged.
rabbit hole of all rabbit holes.
I looked up
Going
everything.
deep.
Yeah.
Because again, we hadn't met yet, so I really didn't know what you were like yet.
I mean, it's also understandable
Yeah.
to do your research. I feel like it's
Absolutely.
important to do that because
Female.
with catfishing and everything, and
I don't know like that.
So,
So
I
I,
mean-
was like, I'm about to get to know like that. I'm about to get to know you. And he was tagged in a Heckin Podcast post, one of your posts. So, and it said, that you had your cousins on, and I thought, oh my gosh, perfect. I can listen to the podcast. So late at night, I'm listening to not part one, but part two, both podcasts. And in the podcast, I am just cracking up because you were all just joking around with one another.
Right.
Much similar to what my cousins and I joke
Right.
with one another. And there is mention of Mary Had a Little Scream. And you invited your listeners to go hop on YouTube and watch it.
Okay.
So for research purposes.
I know.
You did. So for research purposes, I looked at not one or two, but all three of your YouTube accounts. Looking at all of your, watching all of your guys'
the other two are still
videos
safe.
that all of you uploaded. And that was one of the first videos I pulled up. Mary Had a Little Scream, and was like, I wonder if
What
I'm
was
going to
your-
recognize who this guy is, or which kid.
right.
And almost immediately, his head pops up, and I'm like,
If there's a photo of that somewhere, put it here because
it'll
that
be
way,
on
yeah,
there,
that way
trust
she
me.
knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's on the thumbnail. Don't worry.
Yeah, and so I feel like after listening to y'all on the podcast, watching these videos, I just kind of knew him a lot better.
Right.
I saw how close he was with family.
Did
his
it kind of
friends.
calm the nerves a little bit?
It did.
Kind of made him real.
I told him, I was honest and was like, I didn't feel very nervous. I went in he admitted he was super nervous when we first met, but I felt.
I would be.
Because
I don't blame you. I feel
I was
like
gonna say I don't think you did.
Because I didn't do that with her.
Bro, she had like spark notes and everything about you.
she had flashcards ready.
So
She was like Christian.
oof.
Sit
So this entire time,
Let me tell
This
you
was-
about you.
this was the day before our scheduled like first date.
Oh yeah, this was the night before. Yeah,
This was the night before it. I had zero idea that she had done any of this. So we go on our date.
She's like in the trench.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we go on our date, like, and everything goes well.
Yeah.
And then we went to get ice cream afterwards.
Yeah,
And-
it was after our date, post date,
Post
ice
date.
cream.
Yeah. And then we started talking about our cousins, like how I'm really close with you guys, and that she also has a group of cousins that she's also, and her siblings that she's really close with.
Right.
And she's like, oh yeah, your cousins, like the D&Ts. And I'm like, what the fuck? How do you know about this? Because I hadn't mentioned it. I hadn't mentioned anything about our band. I hadn't mentioned like who our band names or who you guys were or anything like that. I just loosely mentioned I played guitar, but
Yeah.
What was the
Yeah.
first? How did it make you feel? Like when you first heard her say that?
my stomach dropped to the floor
He got really red. He got super
Oh
red.
no.
because I'm like,
You felt like on the spot, right? Or like I feel like, or deer in the headlights.
kind of, yeah. Like
yeah.
I just was so caught so off guard. Like I'm
Yeah.
just like, how do you know this? Like, what did you do?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, he might not ask for a second date after this, but
So
you did though.
good for you to agreeing to still go to the date after watching Mary Had a Little Scream.
That's what I said.
What was your impression? Like, you've never met this guy yet, but you're seeing him in this like scenario. Like, what's going in your mind when you're seeing this?
I mean, again, I really just thought it was like the same goofy humor that
Okay.
I had with
So you
my
found it,
cousins. It's like kind of relatable.
related
to it. Okay.
So yeah, it definitely calmed my nerves. I think I was more excited and looking forward to meeting you after all that goofiness.
It broke the ice for sure.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, it for sure broke the ice.
That's funny.
Oh yeah.
And then I just had a podcast to listen to and whatnot after
Yeah.
too.
Good
So
deal.
I've been listening along.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
We visited you recently.
You did.
We
Quite
went
a
on.
surprise.
It was.
Yeah.
That was what is it with y'all? Like trying to just give me heart attacks constantly.
We're trying to kill you.
Thank you.
Catch up. Get it. Let it click for once. We're tired of planning these things.
Who's next? But yeah, you guys did come over to visit us in Omaha, Nebraska.
So, yeah, that was before you moved to Kansas.
Yes.
That was recent. It was your birthday
Yes.
at the beginning of the year, and we had planned this out for months.
Yeah.
We had planned it
Yeah.
out for months. Well, like a couple months, maybe like a month or two before, right?
Yeah. Well, we tried
Yes,
the
well,
year
that is
before.
months.
Right. Okay. I'm
We
right.
tried the year before and didn't make it happen for your 29th, but for your dirty 30, I reached out to everyone. I reached out to your cousins, your college friends, your Sacramento friends, just all the different friend groups.
Omaha friends.
Omaha friends.
Thank you.
I would reach out to Omaha
Wait, I don't know
friends.
what's Sacramento. I don't know what Sacramento is.
Yeah.
I don't know. A movie coming out with Michael Cera.
That's right.
And I reached out to the different group friends to see if they would be down to all get together and celebrate you.
It was
Because
really
I also
cool.
don't think anyone had gotten to from out of town. Your out of town friends or
Mm-hmm.
your cousins had gotten the chance to go out there and hang out with you
Yeah,
and visit you.
Yeah. So a couple friends had gone to visit stuff. Like you guys hadn't been out there yet.
Yeah.
So it was most definitely a very pleasant surprise that I was very ill prepared for.
That was so funny because I ruined the surprise like right off the bat without knowing it. And we had planned it. The whole drive from the hotel to your place was Vanessa and I talking about how we were going to talk and like get you off our scent and be like, yeah, we rented an Airbnb and we're going to, you can come hang out with us later over there. And as soon as you guys said, oh, where'd you guys stay? I was like, oh, at the hotel over here. I was like, oh, no.
And you know what? To be honest, I never caught on because
My blood went cold. Like, I felt it. Like, I was like, No.
No, what was funny was him
okay.
trying to like figure it out because you would ask like, "Wait, why did you do this?" Or
Yeah.
why was that? And I was like, "Oh, he's catching on."
Because
I was
I by the way, like this entire time I had zero idea you guys were coming. I had zero idea that you were planning anything. So when you guys came with that initial like visit,
Right.
I asked you that question, you were like, "Oh, we're staying at the hotel over here," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, interesting spot. First of all, like that's not a nice side of town."
Hey, it was close. It was cheap and it was close.
Yeah.
It was literally just going to be not even a night, a matter of hours.
And then,
So
like,
it's like it was
yeah.
no big deal.
And then the next day, and then I started thinking like, why would you get a hotel first and then you stayed at an Airbnb the next day? But it didn't click that oh, you guys are planning something behind my back. That
Right.
never crossed my mind. So it was a very interesting how that all played out.
I think it was better as a 30th because it's like a new decade,
Yeah.
like start of the new.
Yeah.
Like it was cool. It was a good
It
weekend.
it was most definitely a very pleasant surprise. It was so kind of backtracking a little bit. That like leading up to it, you and I were planning to do a cycle bar class together because I've never done it before. You were just
Finally
like
agreed?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we just had never
Oh my gosh,
opportunity.
I
That's
had
what told
told
me,
him.
yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, like I go to cycle bar and I always invite him and he never goes. It's gonna be perfectly fine. He's not gonna want to go. And this one time,
The one time I'm like,
You're like, oh,
you know what?
join you.
Like, I'm down. Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
pivot.
He was so scared when he opened the door because you were so good at playing like.
Panicked. Yeah.
Yes, you
I don't
got
know, but
so
you played
hold on.
victim.
you got so shy,
was.
like you were scaring
okay,
us.
because
Like
I'm sorry.
you were making it like you went straight to like.
Well, like,
I was like,
Hold on,
Breathe.
before we proceed. So we were trying to like, I was telling you like, hey, let's go to cycle bar class today.
yes.
And then, and then you were at my place and you were like, okay, well, let me go home and then let me go
gotta get
change
changed.
and then I'll come back and from here we'll go.
Yeah.
So I got ready. I got changed.
Which was a lie.
Which was a lie.
So I was freaked out because I was like, what's he gonna think when he realizes I lied? You know.
And so I'm like home. I'm playing Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
and I hear a knock on my door, which is a little bit unusual. And I go and I open the door, and it's you, but you're still in.
I'm not ready for
Like you're
cycle
not
bar.
ready. You're not ready for cycle bar.
all.
And then that's when
Yeah.
she gave the concerned look, like, "Hey, like we're actually not going to cycle bar." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. Like you were playing it very like something
it
traumatic
wasn't
happened.
Play. I just couldn't breathe.
Like you were
Yeah.
almost like, what's going
And then I was
Sorry,
like,
guys.
"Are you good?" And you were just like, "Yeah, come here." And then I walked out my front door, and it's you three standing on the side. I'm like, "Oh, like that's what? Oh, hey, what? Wait, why are you here?" Like,
Nah. It was good to be out there. It was fun.
It was
a
nice.
good.
Thank
it was a
you
good
all
little
for
trip. No,
making
for sure.
the trip out.
I'm
It meant
excited
a
to go
lot.
back.
Thank
Like
you
this
guys.
time, plan it to like where we
Yes.
can actually like.
this time I will be prepared.
Yeah. No more surprise.
I feel like I like that about the trip though. There was no plans. It was
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it
spontaneous.
was very like just
You
hanging
did
out.
show us around though.
I
Yeah.
tried my best to
Yeah.
just take you to the most touristy spots around town. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
but I was trying to be like, take us where you like to go. Like, I want to see what you do or like where you guys go. So I'm glad we got. I mean, it sucked how it happened. Long story short, we had to leave the Airbnb during the party,
Yeah.
and so we ended up going to a karaoke bar. Right? What was it called?
Pine Cove.
Sorry, I blanked
Yeah,
out.
like I don't know why I forgot it for
Yeah,
a
so
minute.
there was a
It's
Pine
Pine
Cove,
Cove.
and so we
Yeah.
went there, and it was fun. People started showing up like later as it got
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing is, it was getting hot. It was getting really hot there, and I remember you weren't feeling good that night.
Dude, I was about to pass out.
You were
because of the
bad.
heat.
Yeah, you
I
had to
noticed.
leave.
I noticed you were a little like,
Yeah.
just kind of
I
out
started
of it.
And I think-
overheating, was like, oh shit, dude.
I think the wet, like the inside, the humidity inside,
Yeah.
because like even when we were leaving, I looked at the window and it was all like fogged up like condensation, and I was like, oh my god, we're really
Yeah.
musty in there.
Yeah.
But it was fun though because it was
It's
like
all
a
karaoke.
lot of the group was us, so like
Yeah.
a lot of us got to go and sing like right
Yeah.
off the bat, like just boom, 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 like in turn. So that was fun. That was a
The
good
whole
time.
bar sang "You Happy Birthday."
They
Oh
did.
yeah,
They
that's
did.
right. That was
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
It was crazy. Like it was like the biggest crossover episode of the century.
Yeah.
Like you guys were there. I had my college friends that were there. I had my local friends that were there, and then some of your family, some of your family, like your sister and your cousin were there, and it was just like, wow, this is very like overstimulating. I don't know which personality to bring out.
Like, yeah, oh dude, I would be very thrown off as well too. I'd be panicking. So I was like, I don't like surprises.
Yeah, it is not that it's weird or hard, but it is. Well, it is weird and hard.
Yeah.
Not that it isn't, but it is.
But it is to get like your friends and put them all together and expect them to click.
Yeah, yeah. Like you always have that.
Like you have.
Yeah. You always have that thought in your head because you're always a certain way in certain groups. Like it's not that you're a completely different person, but there's certain tweaks about you that you change when you're around certain people.
Yeah, because like we have our own sense of humor, you and I have our own sense of humor, and that's everybody.
Yeah,
but like. It was just so cool to see how well it actually clicked with everyone. I think like a lot of different groups were getting along. Like my college friends were just like getting along with my local friends. I'm like, whoa, like this is weird seeing this friend talk to this friend.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow.
To actually see mingling going on and stuff. Yeah, it's like that's always been weird to me because I've always been very friends over here, family over here kind of thing. I never really brought. The only friends that really mesh are like our families know each other or we were friends since high school kind of thing. Like anyone since then, I don't really bring around just because it's like, I don't know, it's different. So, so I just keep them separated. But,
the gang's all here.
The gang's all three of my friends. How has video games been? Because that's been a recent re-journey for you.
Yeah, so I stopped playing religiously like maybe a junior year of high school.
Because you were big in video games. I remember like you were like a completionist. You would want to get every especially like in Ratchet and Clank, you would have to get every bolt, every weapon, everything because you have to have everything unlocked.
I already finished it with everything.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like you were always like that completionist. I was like, I wish I had the attention span to be able to go after all these things. I was like, I don't have like once I pass the game, I'm like, okay, next. Like
no,
I can't really dive back in and like too much.
So I stopped playing a lot when I was like in my junior year in high school because that's when things really started picking up for me with like extracurricular activities and then like academics. So I would play here and there, like especially like in college. Like I had friends that like would like to play like Mario Kart or something. Like I'd always play.
Yeah.
But I never was just like I never had like, oh, let me get this game and let me finish the whole thing. And so not until recently where I tried to get back into it and this is how long I haven't played. I have the first gen PS3. That's my most recent console.
The big boy.
The
hefty mo.
And so it finally caught up to me, the yellow light of death. Where it just like completely shut off, and I fixed it. Like I took it apart and I resoldered it and everything. And I fixed it, but it only lasted like another month, and after that I just got lazy. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, like, you know, I told you about it, and you were just like, hey, well, what if you just like borrow my PS4 and try to, you know, if you want to get back into it. Yeah. And you gave me a couple games, and I took it back. I'm like, wow, I forgot how much I missed this.
Yeah.
And,
so you've been having a good time though?
I have been. It has been a little bit on pause again just because grad school is picking up.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to keep that going. And then we ended up finishing Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, her and I played together.
Nice.
Very nostalgic. Very
good
fun.
deal.
Yeah, because
what's your experience with like video games? Were you like into them as a kid?
I wasn't like a gamer by any means, but yeah, gosh, shoot. Yeah, I had the PlayStation, the OG. I had a Nintendo 64.
Hell yeah.
I had the Game Boy, like the OG Game Boy. Oh my gosh. We also had like the Xbox 360. Heck, our family liked playing like Rock Band together with all the cousins and stuff.
Dude, we had so many like sleepless nights of just playing Guitar Hero or Rock Band at Christian's house. Yeah. It was always an event. or we would like we would always see like how late we could actually stay up.
Yeah,
Bless your parents too.
I know.
For the amount of noise we made in your house. Right under them.
I think there was a few times where they did. You were like, "All right,
Did
time
they?
to quiet down."
You guys gotta stop.
But I mean,
tearing it up.
we were always rowdy though, man. We were bad. Like,
Did you guys have that too? Like your parents or like your family would be like, "Hey, stop."
Yeah, I don't think we stayed up that late.
Mm-hmm.
No. If we were playing all together, if all the cousins were together, maybe it was like around the holidays and they'd be like, let loose, get tired, then go to sleep.
It's like a once a year thing, whatever.
Yeah.
The earliest memory I have of us playing Guitar Hero was actually me and you, Edson, when it was like the first, I think it was like Guitar Hero 3, when you can play, you could play 2-player on the other ones, but that was like the first time we had tried doing that. Mm-hmm. And I remember the first song we played was Bulls on Parade by Rage Against the Machine. And we played it.
I remember like unboxing the guitars.
We did it in my parents' living room downstairs. We plugged it into the TV and we played that song. We were standing up to it. I remember.
Remind me, was that the time where it broke?
So. Yeah.
Your dad's TV.
Yeah. Oh, that's the time when it broke.
Oh, no.
Man.
To be fair, all I did was just unplug the power from the back, and then it just never turned on again.
Tell me why that's what happened to my TV in my living room right now. My big TV that's up on the wall has been out for like 2-3 months now, right?
Oh shoot!
It's been out for like 2-3 months. I just need to replace it. Like it won't turn on.
Just give it the old.
I tried. Well, I gave it the old. That just still don't work. I was getting desperate. I was about to get the mallet.
Put it in rice.
Yeah, put it in rice. Yeah, that'll do it.
But I unplugged it and it just I heard something go off. I'm like, no, that's not good. And so, but you know what? I don't remember my parents getting that upset because my dad was like, I guess we gotta buy a new TV now, and then we upgraded to the flat screen. Yeah.
So it was like a happy accident.
Yeah. So luckily I didn't catch too much heat for that one.
Right.
Nah, it was an accident. I mean, I would understand if we knocked it over or something. But.
Right. All right. So I have a little game, as you've seen, like on other episodes. We have our very famous bucket from the Spider-Man movie bucket, and with a bunch of hypotheticals inside. So since you're our guest this week, my bucket of hypotheticals right here, guys. And so we're gonna just draw one, and the best one we're gonna take turns doing one by one. For anyone that didn't hear that, I said we're gonna take turns doing one by one. We're gonna take turns doing one by one.
Ooh. All right.
And here we go. Do you mind passing that over?
Ladies first.
Not you.
Okay.
Pass that along, sir. Ladies first.
I'm scared. I'm a little scared.
It's not a fortune cookie, I promise. It's worse.
That shit is long as heck.
I know.
Oh no.
It's a contract.
Oh no.
Sign your life away.
You let a contract has a pin on the side.
Just disappears when
If you could merge two games together and make a new one, what games would you choose and what would be the result? Are we talking any games? Video games?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure.
Video games?
Or
anything.
Board games, video games.
Okay.
Life games.
Life games.
I would.
Squid Games.
Squid games.
I would do.
I think that gave me a great idea.
Oh yeah, I do got it.
It's
What?
That gave me an idea.
Yeah, I was like, I got an idea.
Okay, so like we've played a lot of board games together, you and I, Chris, and with family and friends. And Uno No Mercy tends to really piss a lot of people off. And then I really love Squid Games. Can you imagine if we just merged Squid Games and Uno No Mercy?
That would be intense.
That'd be crazy.
I'd be the first one out.
Oh, no! You have got
that sounds like a challenge.
The very few times I've played with her family.
Yeah.
And I'm like the master. I'm like, oh, like this is how we play. Like I explain the rules and I bring the game and I like teach everyone how to play. Mm-hmm. And then I'm the first one out.
Yeah.
And now I'm like,
that's usually how it goes.
Now what do I do?
That's usually how it goes. I would do a mix of Monopoly, but instead of currency, you own the property, and if someone tries to if someone lands on your property, you fight each other in a Mortal Kombat style fight.
I thought you were
And you fight. Well, no, in a video game. Sorry, I forgot to be specific. I mean, however you want to play it. Hey, it's fun for all ages.
That.
And then instead of the bidding war or whatever, you just fight each other, and whoever wins takes over the property. And if someone sells their property or whatever and wants to do like an auction, they do like a Smash Brothers style, like multiple arena type thing, and everyone last person standing takes it.
Good ideas.
I think I would do that.
Yeah,
that sounds.
That's
cool.
kind of in the realm of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
The way your face lit up.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited.
Bring this to market.
I'm ready.
Write that down.
Hey, I got the Monopoly board right there. Let's fucking do it. I'll fight someone right now.
Relax.
I'm ready. What would you make?
Dude, I don't even know.
Yeah,
whole time
I'm trying to think
all
right
this
now.
time.
There's like a chicken just roaming around in my head right now.
You got the monkey and the symbols.
I would bring back our chicken run game that we had back in the day when we were kids.
Yeah.
But like put some stakes on it or something. So for those who haven't heard of this famous game, you get trapped in a chicken coop, and there's a bunch of different chickens that are like running around, and your job is to go and capture them and grab them and then like
throw them over the wall.
throw them over a wall.
That would land them to where they nest. There's like
Where they
their
perch
where they perch.
yeah.
Thank you.
Actual chickens, by the way.
Yeah,
Actual
real
chickens.
chickens
Yeah.
at the ranch.
At the ranch.
And we were like
Talking about the catch master.
yeah, for sure, man. No one beat me. I would run, just grab them, chuck
I
them.
always have the memory when you would grab two of them. By
Yeah, dude, I'd have all of them.
I was like, look at this guy.
He's really doing that. All right, what you got, Chris?
All right. Oof, what's this one? All right. Oh, if you could be invisible, but it would mean being permanently invisible, would you want to be? I think that's for me, it's pretty simple. I wouldn't. I don't want people to not see me anymore. That kind of sucks.
I would. I was
gonna say, if you were to elaborate, it's like, well, can people hear you?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, can they still hear you and
Can
feel
we, like,
you
dust
and stuff?
you with
Like,
a
no, like, can they
dye and-
like? Am I just invisible?
powder,
Like,
yeah.
can I still pick things up and like move them around and like interact with things and people?
Too
and
fancy
stuff?
with the
Like,
questions.
yeah, I would just like wear a mask and like an outfit, I guess.
Can you though?
Like
That's what I'm saying. Like, can we
Hallman?
do stuff, or am I just
The mask
invisible,
is
or
all.
am I nothing? Are we human?
I guess like you
Or
could,
are
I
we
guess,
dancer?
I guess
Wow.
you could kind of mess with people a little bit. Like you can just put on like just a shirt and just like run around like a floating shirt. I don't know.
But then it's forever.
The walking
Forever,
shoes.
ever.
Just be a sheet ghost.
The sheet. That's true.
Spooky.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
No, I probably
Yeah.
wouldn't do it either.
I don't think I would. Honestly, I don't know. Would you?
All falls on you. No pressure, nothing.
Yeah.
But everyone
like,
said
like
no.
whatever you say, like that's what's gonna.
So it better be no,
Yeah.
because
Definitely
that's what-
don't
I could
read the
probably
room.
like nap a lot, and I'm sure everyone would be like, "Where's Vanessa?" But like my stuff would be moved around. My car would be moving around. Confuse a lot of people on the road.
Yeah.
You know what? Another thing that I just thought of, you don't have to do laundry. No laundry.
Just be naked all day.
Well, but you're invisible.
You're invisible.
It doesn't
no
matter.
one knows.
But are your turds invisible?
As you said that, I was like, wait, so your pee and your turd, dude.
So I'm just standing in
Like,
the kitchen, like just decide to
once
go.
the turd comes out, does it become visible?
Right.
Or is it
invisible poop? And if someone steps on it, like,
Dude.
and does it have a
You
smell?
just smell it.
yeah, it's just
we're onto
phantom
something,
shits.
Phantom shit. So
Quantum
He's
shits.
like, I'm rethinking. Now that I
So
know
hold
about
on.
phantom
Now,
shit.
like, if you're like eating something, like if you have something, you eat it. Can you see it go like in you, or does it disappear?
I feel like once it's inside you, pause. You wouldn't be able to see it no more.
Right.
Yeah.
I think so. Once
Like,
you
that's
take the
just-
bite.
Yeah.
But would you be able to see the inside of your mouth?
No, you're invisible. It's inside already. That counts as something that's. I think that's the way I see it.
I think there should be
All
a
right,
whole
for
episode.
science, I'll choose yes.
Thank you for being the voice of reason. But all right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us.
Well, I was
Thank
gonna pick
you.
one anyways. Whatever.
No, I'm just having our guest. Do you want to go?
No, I don't know.
Good. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We'll see you next time on the Heckin Podcast.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Bye, guys. Go ahead. Go ahead.